and welcome back to Learn Spanish Easily with Sergio. This is the name of my channel. In today's lesson we'll see the demonstrative pronouns in Spanish and the verb there is, there are, and at the end we'll see we'll have a bonus. So don't cheat and watch this video till the end. Otherwise you'll be missing that bonus. I mean, since today we are going to have this particular bonus in every video. So keep watching it till the end to find out what it is. Hi everyone. For the masculine form, in the singular, let's see them working both as adjectives and as nouns. As an adjective, este in the singular, estos in the plural. For the feminine, esta, estas. These two mean this. It's the demonstrative pronoun to indicate that something is near us. Its counterpart would be that. We'll see it later. Este, esta, this. Estos, estas both mean these. The difference in Spanish is that we distinguish between masculine and feminine. So this is when the objects or the person, the people, are near us. Let's see its counterpart in the singular. Aquel, aquella, and in the plural, aquellos, aquellas. So, what do you think all these words mean? Aquel and aquella mean that, and this in the plural mean these both mean those. So it's we use them when they are a bit far away from us. But in Spanish we have a third category that we use when to modify a noun. And this noun we are referring to is somewhere in the middle, neither so near nor so far from us. Ese, masculine singular, esa, feminine singular, esos, and esas. Singular, plural, masculine, feminine. So let's see these examples, and I'm going to read them, and I want you to try to translate them into English. They are not that difficult. Yo leo estos libros. What do you think this is? I'm reading these books. It can be both. I'm reading these books now, or I usually read these books. Remember that in Spanish we can use it, you can use this tense for what you call the present continuous too. I'm reading these books. Second one. No tengo esa revista. I haven't got. And as you don't have this category, its closer meaning is to that of that or those, or that or those, yes. That in the singular, those in the plural. So let's translate it into your that and those. This is feminine and, this is singular, so it's that. I haven't got that. En revista means magazine. Necesito aquellos textos. I need aquellos, you remember, far away from us, far from us. I need those, and it's very similar. Texts. ¿Quién vende estos productos? ¿Quién? Who? Sells. It comes from the verb vender. That means to sell. It's regular. ¿Quién vende estos productos? Who sells these products? Nunca como esos caramelos. This is a habit. So in the simple present, I never como, I never eat. The verb comer, do you remember it? I never eat. And remember, eso, ese, esos, esas, is closer to your that and those. I never eat those. And caramelos is sweets in British English, or candies in American English. Well, the same happens in Spanish. In Argentina we say caramelo, but in most countries they say dulce, like the translation of sweet. So in Spain, for example, or in Mexico, nunca como esos dulces. The reason why we say caramelo, I repeat, our Spanish, Argentine Spanish, is strongly influenced by Italian because of our nonni, our grandparents. Lots of Italian people came to Argentina to live here, and they influenced our language in a very, very strong way. So in Italian it's caramella, in Spanish it's caramelo, it's the same word. I never eat those sweets. Now let's see these demonstrative pronouns, but we'll see how they work as nouns. These are our demonstrative pronouns when they work as nouns. I have to tell you something about stress. In fact, in Spanish, this accent has been abolished by the Real Academia Española, la RAE, the Royal Spanish Academy, has abolished it, let's say, to simplify Spanish. I personally don't agree, but of course this academy won't take me into account. But I mean, this accent does have a reason to be there, and its reason is so that we, when we see the written word, we can distinguish between the pronoun as an adjective and the pronoun working as a noun. This was the reason why Spanish used to have, or had for centuries, this accent in its noun function. So when the pronoun is a noun, till a few years ago, we always had to put el acento tilde, this mark over the letter, over the vowel. But I don't know why this Real Academia Española has abolished it. So we can keep on writing them with the accent, but the rule now, the current rule says that we don't have to put the accent. So you may come to see this in books that were printed before this decision. These accents were abolished around 5 or 6 years ago, so you'll see these accents in many books and magazines, etc. Because this decision that the Academy has taken is recent. So I wanted to explain this to you. Now I'm going to erase those accents because according to this decision they don't go here anymore. So let's see the current version. Estas, estos, esas. Now we are going to see how they work in examples. Let's see examples. As for meaning, it's the same as when we saw the pronouns as adjectives. The difference has to do with distance, near us or further from us. But now remember, as they are nouns, in this case, they will be the subject of the sentence, or they work exactly as nouns. For example, este es mejor que aquel. We haven't seen the comparative use of adjectives yet, but it's just an example. We'll see this more deeply in another video. This means this is better than. To say than, we use this que. And as aquel is distant from us, we translate it into that one. So this means this is better than that one. ¿Quieres esta o aquella? What do you think this means? I know you don't have a question mark at the beginning. Do you want this one or that one? Another example. No hablo de eso, sino de esto. I'm not talking about that, but about... Let's see. In this video, we are going to see el verbo haber, but we are going to see one of its meanings. That is that of your there is, there are, there was, there were, etc. To indicate the existence of something. This verb in Spanish, haber, is also the auxiliary verb that in English is to have. I've eaten, yo he comido. In that case, when it's an auxiliary verb, it's conjugated, but when it's the verb to be, there is, there are, it's an exceptional case in Spanish because it's only conjugated like this. In the present, presente, hay. In the past, if you remember the last video, Preterito Perfecto Simple, hubo, and Preterito Imperfecto había. For now, let's stop in these three tenses. The peculiarity that this has in Spanish is that it's conjugated only in the third person in the singular. Just that. So no plural mark, no plural ending for this verb when it means the be. Let's see examples, but it's very easy because we always say I in the present, no matter singular or plural. Hubo, the same use, and había. Let's see some examples. Let's see the first one. Hay muchos diarios en la mesa. New words here, diarios. This is a fake friend because in Spanish it has two meanings. Newspaper, as in this case, and diary. So in this case it doesn't mean a diary but a newspaper. Besides, there is another fact. In Argentina we usually say diario, but in most countries they say the word periódico to mean newspaper. We do say periódico too, but it sounds more natural for us or to us to say diarios in Argentina, but we can say periódicos. So this means, what do you think this means? If we say muchos diarios, although we don't use this with a plural mark, its meaning is that of plural. So there are, well, I know that in English you can also say there's too many. I prefer to use the plural form. There are many newspapers en la mesa. In Spanish we use this preposition in most cases, so it's easier. But you say on the, you don't say in the table, but on the table. On the table. Let's see the second one. No hay más leche en la heladera. There's no milk left. No queda más leche, no hay más leche. There's no milk left in the fridge. So, in the fridge. So, leche is milk. Left, well, or you can say there's no more milk in the fridge, but this is the meaning. As for heladera, fridge, we have different ways of saying fridge in Spanish. Heladera is the way in which we say it in Argentina, Uruguay, the surrounding countries. In most countries they say refrigerador, sorry, refrigerador. And only in Spain they say nevera. That is different from these words because, well, I mean, refrigerador comes from frío, that comes from the Latin frigor. Frigor means cold in Latin. Heladera comes from hielo, that means ice. And nevera in Spain comes from nieve, that means snow. So semantically they are the same. Snow, ice, frigor, or cold. But remember, Spain, nevera, most Latin American countries, refrigerador, South America, especially Argentina, Uruguay, the surrounding countries, heladera. Let's see this other example. Ayer, the third one. So this is the first one, the second one, and the third one. Ayer hubo una manifestación en el centro. Do you remember the meaning of ayer? Oh well, let's do it. Let's change the order in English. Hubo, there was, because it's the past. There was a demonstration. The demonstration, this is the meaning of manifestación. Demonstration. There was a demonstration in the city center. Remember, I told you this before, but in case you didn't see that video. In Spanish, just by saying en el centro, we understand that it's the city center or downtown. There was a demonstration in the city center yesterday. I mean, you can say yesterday there was a demonstration. Manifestación, demonstration, centro, city center, and ayer, yesterday. And let's see a final example with the Preterito Imperfecto. We haven't seen the past of the verb to be in Spanish yet, but this is as an introduction. Éramos, well, if I add the pronoun cuando nosotros, well, you know that it means when we were. Cuando, to remember, it means when. Cuando éramos chicos había una calecita en la plaza. So its translation is when we were children, there was calecita. There was a merry-go-round. And do you say in the square or at the square? I think it's at. I'm going to put at. Feel free to correct me if it's not at. When we were children, there was a merry-go-round at the square. So we have some new words here. Well, we'll see this conjugation later. Calecita, merry-go-round, and plaza, square. But what happens with calecita? This is used in Latin America, but in Spain they don't use this word. They say tío vivo. Tío vivo. So we can say cuando era, well, in Spanish it would be something like this. Cuando éramos niños, había un tío vivo en la plaza. Cuando éramos chicos, había una calecita en la plaza. And here we don't say hubo, because if we did that, we would mean that there was a merry-go-round during a short period of time and then it wasn't there anymore. So by saying había in Spanish, the Preterito Imperfecto, we mean that that merry-go-round was there at the square for a long time. Well, what was the surprise that I told you that I'd give you at the end of the video? I decided to put this bonus at the end of each video, and it has to do what we see in each particular video. I decided to tell you one or more idioms with the verbs or with the words or with what we've learned in this video. In this case, I thought of 3 idioms. I guess there were 3. Let's see. Well, in this case, rather than idioms, I'd say that they are sayings or proverbs. No hay mal que dure 100 años. Because, I mean, a saying because it's very little. No hay mal que dure 100 años. Or there are no bad situations that last for 100 years. That's the meaning. There are not bad situations that are so bad that they last for 100 years. For example, the current world issue, the COVID the coronavirus. We all hope it ends soon. No hay mal que por bien no venga. Well, here it's more, the translation is literal, but it's more poetic than the other one because we have hyperbaton here. We could say no hay mal que no venga por bien. That would be the Spanish word order. But here it sounds more as if taken from literature. No hay mal que por bien no venga. It means whenever something bad happens to us, in the end, something good is going to happen to us because of that bad situation that we went through. So in the end, we'll be better than before that bad situation we had to go through. It's a hopeful saying. No hay mal que por bien no venga. Every bad situation teaches us something. That's the meaning. And once it's happened, the bad situation's happened, we feel stronger and more confident. That's the meaning. And let's see a final saying or proverb. I guess it's only in Argentina. This is an idiom. Es lo que hay. This third one is an idiom. Es lo que hay. I repeat, I think it's only used in Argentina. Uruguay maybe too. Es lo que hay, we usually say, well, es lo que hay. For example, a typical situation, I don't know, at a party we are a group of friends, and we are having hot dogs for dinner, and we all would like to have what we call asado, the barbecue in English, meat, steak, but it's specific. Asado comes from the verb asar, that means to roast. I guess you've heard of this. This is very Argentinian. Asado. And we'd all like to eat asado instead of hot dogs. I say asado on purpose because the way we make it in Argentina is different from any other place in the world. So instead of eating hot dogs, by the way, we call them panchos. Panchos mean hot dogs. Panchos means hot dogs. Instead of eating hot dogs for dinner, we'd all like to eat asado, and one of us says, bueno, es lo que hay. Well, we have to eat hot dogs because we don't have any other option. And we'll have to be happy eating those hot dogs. This is the meaning of es lo que hay. There's no other option, we have to eat this. So people, I hope you didn't cheat up to now and you kept on watching this video till the end. Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen these sayings and this idiom. If you liked the video, please subscribe to my channel. Learn Spanish easily with Sergio. Give this video a like, share, feel free to share, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.